Welcome back to the Super Sleepy Gamer Show. Today, I want to talk about something that's been near and dear to me since I've been a wee child, not sleeping all night, and doing really bad in school. It's back. Well, this is an example at least, but video game magazines. Now, back in the day, we weren't finding every bit of information we needed every second of the day, all the time, constantly on the internet. What we had to do was get it from our monthly magazines. Now, I used to actually see, okay, these were like $5. Now, that might not be a lot, but it was more than my parents wanted to spend on that. And to be honest with you, I'd probably rather tell my parents to save the $5 and put it towards buying me a new game. So if they went to the grocery store, what I would do is I'd be like, hey, Mom and Dad, I'd really like to go there so I can read the damn magazine while you buy all the stuff for me. So that worked out. So I would go there and I would stand there and happily read the newest issue of EGM, Electronics Gaming Monthly, or Game Pro, or they didn't have Playboy or anything. This is an issue, as you can see, of Electronics Gaming Monthly. It's got Crash Bandicoot on the cover. It says Star Fox. I don't know what that means. This is the guy from Big Trouble in Little China. They made a video game based on the series, or the movie, I mean. So you know that guy that people know, they've heard about him. His name is Brad Pitt. All right, Brad Pitt wasn't always really popular, right? That's not Brad Pitt, but he was in a movie, a dumb movie when he was pretty young called Cool World. And this Cool World movie is about him drawing girls that he wanted to have sex with. I think that's what the movie was about. And they said, yeah, let's make a game about that. Because that didn't have to happen. But they did. They did it. Because this was the early 90s. Why not? Right? At least in the 90s, when they made a game based off a movie, you didn't have to go out and buy all the little figures to play the damn game on Disney Universe, whatever the fuck those things are that you have to buy toys to play. So let's just go in real quick. We won't cover every page because there's a lot to cover here. Advertisement for Tiny Toons. It's a pretty good game. This is an ad for a Simpsons game, and I gotta be honest with you, every Simpsons game is horrible, and if anybody says anything different, then maybe they played the Konami arcade beat 'em up, which is actually okay. Nintendo or Sega, who is number one? I think we both know the answer to that. It's definitely Microsoft. Out of this world. It's got some rotoscope stuff. This game is out of this world, you know what I mean? Hook. They made a game based off Hook. They didn't need to do that. Robin Williams. What? Who saw Robin Williams and said, let's make that a main character, he'll be great. And the drawing on the cover, by the way, has no resemblance to Robin Williams. It's a terrible ad for Bubsy the Bobcat. I'll do an episode about Bubsy maybe one day. The game is about a cat who flashes everybody, shows his cat penis to a bunch of people. We're talking about Sega's Blast Processing, very real, very true. It was a great feature, it made the Genesis wonderful. This is probably the best game of the 16-bit generation right here. Make your own music. See, they used to have these games where you can make your own music video with a Sega CD. With all the colors that the Sega CD could display, these games were freaking amazing. This letter, by the way, asks about an 8-bit Street Fighter 2 coming out for the Nintendo Entertainment System. And they're saying, don't worry, it's happening, it's coming. Never comes. Not officially, anyways. See, they made a game based off Lethal Weapon! Again! Why? This is about Nintendo's PlayStation. The Nintendo PlayStation CD for the Super Nintendo. So that's some shit, huh? Yeah. Nintendo's happy that all went the way they liked it. Flashback. This game was out of this world too, you know what I mean? Out of this world was a similar game, that's why I said that. Lords of Thunder. That is a sequel to Gates of Thunder for the Turbo Duo. Alright, it got Game of the Month. It's a shooter. I was never big into shooters. If you were a magazine critic in the 90s, you were forced by gunpoint to say that shooters were the best genre. Skull, Risky Woods, Chuck Rock, Road Avenger, this is all garbage, garbage, garbage. Dog playing games, ridiculous. Double Dragon 3 for the Genesis was wonderful. Had everything you'd want in a game. Japan's top 10. Look at this bullshit. Final Fantasy V is their #1 game for the Super Nintendo. Never came out to America. Those assholes thought that, hey, you know what? America's too stupid to understand the job system. They're idiots. Top 10 odd-looking video game characters. We have top 10 odd-looking video game characters. The #1 is Ren and fucking Stimpy. Ren and Stimpy. Those aren't video game. I don't care if they're in a video game. They're not video game characters. The next one, Toe Jam Earl, very fitting. Cubert, fine. Robocod, nobody cares, but okay. Ren and Stimpy? Dizzy from Tiny Toons? Come on, he's not even weird looking. This is actually one of my heroes. This is Peter Venkman. He is a Ghostbuster. There was a little movie back in the 80s. It wasn't huge budget or anything like that, and there was ghosts in it. And these guys, they decided that they were going to try to fight the ghosts. All right, they tried swords, they tried bats, baseball bats. They tried all these things, and finally they realized that proton packs with neutrino guns, I think was what, neutrino sticks, something like that. They shoot, they catch the ghost. Eventually they cook them and eat them, make them into gravy. But this is a toy of Peter Venkman. He was played by the popular comedian John Candy. This is a gossip area. This is where they talk about rumors, and 99% of them are wrong. I love looking back at those and thinking to myself, I'm smarter than you because I know that you're wrong. I'm talking about how amazing the Atari Jaguar and the 3DO will do. Production, Super NES, CD-ROM, specs revealed. Now, we all enjoyed that when it came out, right? Dino Rex. This is a game where you play as giant dinosaurs. I never heard anything more about this game. I would have loved to know about it. Never heard about it more. Somebody asked about sprites. Got the guy from, say, here's a great example of sprites, and they show the monster from Contra, the first boss. If that's really what you think is a good example of a sprite, I guess. I don't know. Fatal Fury for the Genesis. Got really bad reviews, if I recall correctly. There's Ranma 1/2 Hard Battle. Alright. First one actually came out as a game called Street Combat, because they thought, oh, these people wouldn't understand how there's a male Ranma and a girl, and it was all crazy, and they changed it. But the sequel came out in its proper form, and it was mediocre. Super Back to the Future 2, best Back to the Future game, never came out to America. Golden Axe 3, my God in heaven, did all the reviewers shit on Golden Axe 3, and it's actually a good game. Like, what happened was Sega was like, you know what, guys, it's a pain in the ass. We don't want to localize that for you damn Americans, alright? It's okay, but you guys, can you do us a favor? Tell all your fans that it's shit. And then that way they won't be mad at us. We're sick of these mails, because they have to mail letters. We couldn't email them. So, it's a good game. Don't listen to the negative hype. Ninja Ultimate Fighter. I was very disappointed. I rented that. They brag about it being 12 megs, even though it was like a year after the 16 meg Street Fighter came out. Well, oh yeah, there we go. Mortal Kombat for the Super Nintendo and Genesis. The Genesis doesn't even have backgrounds. I don't know why they're showing it so early. But the Genesis actually turned out to be better. It controlled better. There was blood, you know. Whatever, people cared about that back then. Tiny Toons again, Buster, Bust a Nut. Final Fight 2, which I thought was good. There we go. There's Crash Bandicoot right there. Alright, this series is still going. Just got released a new one where Knuckles beats up people. Alright, I'm going to do a separate episode about this because my favorite comic book character that's ever been created is the Johnny Turbo. Alright, not many people know about him. I don't want to tell you too much, but the bottom line is he lives with his partner, his sexual partner, and he kills people for marketing things incorrectly. Splatterhouse 3, it's okay game. Rocket Knight Adventure, cool spot. Both good games. Hardball, catch a hard ball in my pants. That's not really, don't even know what that means. Ball's hard, whatever. Sylphied, oh my goodness, Sylphied. I tell you what, Sylphied. This game, EGM, their editors, like, flip out over how amazing Sylphied looks. They're like, my god, all the polygons that are jumping around on here, right? That game Crash Bandicoot, you know, the one that's really popular that Nintendo made? Alright, that game is amazing. They were saying that's shit compared to Sylphied. They're like, the Sega CD can make so much better graphics, can shift the fuck out of polygons like nobody's business. And those idiots couldn't tell that it was pre-rendered! Pre-rendered! So tell me, are you happy? Do you love your Sylphied series? The new Sylphied series comes out every year. They make all the Sylphieds, right? Well, the EGM guys just thought it was the cat's pajamas. See, Final Fight CD, great version of Final Fight. Not gonna lie about that. Guy who advertises for Sega's cool, Nintendo's not cool. Road Avenger guy, Battletoads and Double Dragon. Terrible game. Mighty Final Fight for the NES. 4 whopping megs. It's pretty good. Kid Dracula. This had a controversial boss who looked like a member of Ku Klux Klan wearing a swastika on his hat. They censored that for the American one, so he's just a ghost in the American one. Because we're fine with spirits from the dead haunting us, but not racist people. Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. Really good Game Boy game. Maybe one of the best. Minions, Arch Rivals, Spider-Man, yada yada. Sonic comic, Street Fighter, Disney, everything. Oh. They backed a company called Malibu Comics, and all the comics were shit. And you know, I'll tell you more about that later. Maybe they have the endings to Sonic 2 in case you hate beating games, and you know the games that you really like and enjoy and want to play through and see the ending. They like to ruin those for you. They thought that was a good idea. Anyways, this is where we got our information when we were younger, and I'm not saying it was better. Obviously, it was crap. All right, but we dealt with it. It made things feel like they came a lot faster, because when you got such little information this month and that month, all of a sudden the game was out because you're not constantly getting updates from the developers. It was really fun as a kid to get these. I really enjoyed them. I feel that they kind of suck now, but that's because I'm online all the time too, reading the shit that I probably shouldn't be reading. You know, getting all excited and then getting disappointed when a game is delayed. But yeah, that's it. If you have a chance, try to look through these just to laugh at our childhoods, how terrible old people had it. Alright, have a good day. Goodbye.